TiE Global Angels is really meant to bring chapters together, and we have three main objectives. The first is really to give entrepreneurs that our local chapters are funding a chance to broaden their horizons, both for capital as well as strategic connections and investment. So we're putting together resources to help new chapters that are looking to start angel programs and resources to help chapters that really want to encourage their entrepreneurs to go out and expand. So please feel free to contact us. I'll talk about our website at the end. So I talked about the first two. And then the last one is really leveraging the knowledge base that is TiE to help every chapter grow. So we know we have a lot of good knowledge and information in each of these chapters, but it tends to be isolated and siloed. And so by creating this platform, we're hoping that we can bring people together so that even independent of us, chapters are collaborating and making their ecosystems more vibrant. So as Nitin mentioned, we have about 276 members signed up today. I think as of 2 days ago, we had about 10 more people sign up, which is great. And these are representing at least 36 different chapters across the world. And we have not just chapters in the US, but chapters in Europe, in Singapore, in Japan, in India, all of them represented. And they've all been active on our investor calls. We typically see around 20 to 25 people per call. We'd love to get that number up. The more people we have per call, the more investment we can bring to our entrepreneurs, and the more benefit we can give them aside from just capital. And to give you an idea, over the last about 12 months, so we started this, as Nitin said, at the end of 2016, but we've really refined our approach over the last 12 months. We've had about exactly seven investor calls, and we've raised over $1 million for those companies. And this gives you an idea of some of those companies that we have helped. So Zetto is out of the Silicon Valley. They are a really cool company. If you haven't seen them, they were here last year. Do a wireless EEG headset. So I'm partial to that given my background. But some other really neat companies. Hemex Health, as Nitin mentioned, is working in India. Onboard Dynamics is actually another company that could very well benefit developing countries that are looking for reliable power generation. We don't have a specific target raise, again, because we are not set up as a fund and TiE is dependent on individuals to invest. We encourage people to participate, and the hope is that the deals that we're bringing are already vetted and they're high quality so that they will be of interest right away. But we are not setting a minimum investment. And we make that very clear to the entrepreneurs when they are brought onto the platform. So in order for a company to actually come and present, they need to have raised at least $100,000 from a sponsoring TiE chapter. So we don't want to see companies that just come in, someone thinks it's cool, and then we throw it up there. We want to actually see well-vetted, well-defined companies. They need to have at least $100,000 left. So to your point, Paul, it needs to be a reasonable investment opportunity for our members. And then we want to see good documentation. We want to see a diligence package that we can share with other TGA members so that when they come to the call, they already know about the company. They've already thought about questions they can ask, and we can make this a very efficient process and raise money for the company within, ideally, a week after the call. So this is just a quick overview of how we do this, and I'm not going to go into detail, but it's just like any other pitch, except it's all virtual. We bring the entrepreneur in, we bring a representative from the sponsoring chapter to talk a few minutes about why they like the company. The entrepreneur gets a chance to pitch, and then we open it up for questions, moderated questions from the investors. And then we follow it up with a survey so that people can take time to think about the deal. They're not committing at that moment. And then they can tell us how much they're interested in committing, and then we'll connect them directly with the entrepreneur. So that's pretty much it for the process right now. We have a website set up, angels.tie.org. Hopefully it's pretty easy to remember. Nitin is the chair and I'm the program manager. And on there, as I mentioned, this is not just for entrepreneurs, but we're trying to spread best practices to all the different chapters. So we do have documents about what we think is a reasonable approach to diligence. We have some templates on a short form and a long form due diligence report that we would like to see that addresses really the minimum information that we expect a chapter to have gathered before making an investment. And then we also have a general guideline on starting an angel program for those chapters that are in the early stages. And that's what we have right now for TGA. Are there any questions?
Question?
Do you join the call by invitation, or how do you?
So on our website, there is a link to an accredited investor survey. Really, it's just self-certification for the investors. Once investors fill that survey out, they'll be added to our mailing list. And when we send out information on investor calls, every investor that's on that list will get that information. Any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you.